What is up, you guys? Welcome back. Welcome to Guerra Movie House. This week I thought I'd make a pretty simple video. I want to share with you guys a few movies that I am extremely thankful for. The reason I'm thankful for these movies is because they simply bring joy and certain thoughts and memories to my life whenever I watch them that I consider very important to me. Also, keep in mind that this isn't every single movie that I'm thankful for. If I made that video, God only knows how long that video would be. But these are just a few movies that I thought I would share with you guys. It's not just that time of year where we take time from our busy schedules, time from our personal lives to spend time with friends and family, but it's also that time of year where we do something that I believe we should be doing all year long, and that's share the things that we are thankful for. I'm not sure how many people have made this video, but I do remember Jordan, TheVisualXpression, he did do one last year. If you guys have not seen that video, I'll put the link down below for you guys to go ahead and check it out. And if you guys have made this video, or if you're planning on making this video, then let me know, put the link down below. I would be more than happy to check it out. 1, 2, 3.
Guerra Movie House!
I know it's not everyone's favorite, and I know that most people don't like musicals, but I actually, in fact, enjoy musicals very much, and this is definitely one of my favorites. Every time I watch this movie, I can't help but think about my parents. Not only is it my mom's favorite movie of all time, but it's also one of my dad's favorite movies, and if it wasn't for them, I would have never seen it. There was a time in my life where we would watch this movie religiously, like every single week, and nobody ever complained. I mean, if my mom, if she was in the mood to watch a movie, we would put this in. And there's 5 kids and both of my parents, so 7 of us would sit down and watch this movie, and we would all sing along. But even as a kid, I really enjoyed this movie, not just because I got to sit around with my whole entire family and watch it, but simply because I thought it was a really good movie. Yes, even though every single person in this movie looks like they might be in their early 30s, I still thought it was really cool to see what it could be like to be in high school and everything that they go through, watching the good girl fall in love with the bad boy and watching the bad boy fall in love with the good girl. I thought it was really cool. This movie is probably what started the whole hair thing. Danny Zuko and the whole entire T-Bird gang, I always thought had amazing hair, which is probably why I made a goal of my own to also have amazing hair. My mom also had like the biggest crush on John Travolta, especially in this and in Saturday Night Fever, because he's such a good dancer, and I also think it has something to do with the tight pants, which I don't even want to think about. There are a lot of great moments in this movie, and there are a lot of hilarious moments in this movie. They just makes for a lot of fun. Not only that, but I also think about the fun times that I had as a kid watching this musical with my mom and with my dad. The other movie on this list is The Sound of Music. Now, before you start assuming, let me just go ahead and warn you that not every single movie on this list is a musical. In fact, this is the only other one. The reason I'm thankful for The Sound of Music is because it's just another movie that I would watch with my whole entire family growing up. As a kid, I never sit down and watch The Sound of Music by myself. My brothers never sit down and watch The Sound of Music by themselves. My sister never did, and my parents never did. Whenever this movie was playing, you knew the whole entire family was going to be sitting down together. The dad in this movie actually reminds me a lot of my dad, because my dad has always been a very, very serious person. But once in a while, that goofiness does come out, just like the dad in this movie. Come from a family of 5, 4 boys and 1 girl, so we always felt like we could also relate to them because there are a lot of kids in their family, and they're all pretty close in age also, just like us. But no matter what was going on in our day, if this movie was playing, we would always sit down and we would always have a fantastic time watching it. And just like Grease, we would sing along with most of the songs. My sister has always been a little bit more mature than she should be. I mean, she does know how to have fun and be goofy once in a while, especially having 4 brothers younger than her. She still knew how to have fun, but she's always had to play that role of being more mature because she was the eldest. I always think about her whenever I think about this movie, because the older sister does also have to play that role. And my sister would always sing that same song that the older sister sings in this song. She would always sing along with the song that goes, I am 16 going on 17, and my sister would always sing I am 14 going on 15, and whenever she got older she would sing I am 15 going on 16, and then she would get older and sing I am 16 going on 17. So that's always been a joke in our family, with my sister being a little kid and wanting to be older just so she can do a lot more. The next movie is The Patriot. The Patriot is an amazing movie. It is just... it's phenomenal in my opinion. But the reason I'm thankful for this movie is because there was one time in my life, there was a summer where my brothers, we would all sit down and watch this movie every single day. I honestly don't know what it is about it. I mean, it got to the point to where we would watch the movie on mute and literally say everyone's lines for them from beginning to end. I mean, that's how much we watched the movie, and that's how well we knew the movie. There's a lot of things that me and my brothers would do together, especially because we were all so close in age. But one of the things that we always made sure to do, besides going outside to play, is we would always watch shows and movies together, because there wasn't really anything that one person enjoyed that another person didn't. There wasn't one time growing up that I would even dare watch this movie without my brothers, and I'm sure they would agree. Every single time one of us would watch this movie, we would always let the other person know, because it was just one of those brotherly things that we had. Even though this movie has like a lot of dramatic moments and a lot of depressing moments, it also has a lot of hilarious moments, a lot of quotable, funny moments that me and my brothers would always share, and we still do. It is impossible for me to watch this movie and not think about my brothers. It is impossible for me to watch this movie and not have any of those memories that I share with my brothers. Like I said, I'm not exaggerating. There is this moment in my life where I watch this movie every single day. I can honestly quote the whole entire movie for you, which I'm not gonna do. Doesn't matter what was going on in our lives or how our day might have gone at school, we would always sit down and watch this movie all the way through, and we would just forget about all of that, and we would just think about that exact moment, just being able to sit down together and watch something that we all enjoy and have a lot of fun with. I know a lot of the movies that I'm naming are pretty popular films and that most people have seen them, but I really do feel the need to talk about this one. This movie is called VOCES INOCENTES. It is a Spanish film. It's a movie about the civil war that happened during the 1980s in El Salvador. In case you guys didn't know, I am in fact Salvadorian. So whenever my parents and my grandparents decided to show me this movie, I was like, yeah, sure, of course I'll check it out. Not only do I love movies, but I love learning about my culture. The reason I'm thankful for this movie is because this movie does an amazing job. Of course, I wasn't there, but my grandparents were, and they've told me that this movie does an amazing job capturing exactly everything that happened in El Salvador during the 1980s. This movie is an extremely, I mean extremely powerful, heartwarming, extremely moving, emotional film. I cannot watch this movie without thinking about what my grandparents went through. Not only does this movie focus on a whole city and what they're going through, but it focuses just a tiny bit more on a group of friends between the ages of like 10 and 12. Not only the children, but the children's parents and what they have to go through to survive and to protect their family, to protect the kids. Because this movie does involve children, there are a lot of heartwarming and extremely hilarious moments that is just filled with laughs, but at the same time, there are moments that will literally bring you to tears. I am extremely thankful for this movie because according to my grandparents, it really did capture everything that was going on during that time, not only visually but emotionally. I mean, every single time I watch this movie, I honestly can't watch it without crying because it's such a powerful movie. Every time I watch this movie, not only do I think about my grandparents, but I also think about my parents and I think about what they might have gone through. I can honestly say that if it wasn't for my grandparents, I wouldn't be here today. Not only would I not be here today, but I probably wouldn't be the person that I am. I'm extremely thankful for this movie because it depicts what my grandparents went through, the hard times, the struggles that they had to go through to survive and to raise the families that they have now. This movie is in Spanish, so it does have subtitles, but if you guys haven't seen it and it sounds like something you might enjoy, like I said, it is a war movie, so prepare yourself. to see some awful things. But like I said, it is an amazing movie that I highly recommend everybody watches. On a lighter note, Dazed and Confused is something that I will never ever forget. I met my wife in high school. One might even go as far as to say that we are in fact high school sweethearts. And the way that we met was through music. She was wearing a Perfect Circle t-shirt, and a Perfect Circle is my all-time favorite band. I saw her from a distance and I called her over and I told her that I really liked her shirt, that was my favorite band of all time, and then things just kept going from there. We might not both absolutely love movies, but we both do love music, and music is something extremely special to both of us. I guess it would be safe to say that as much as I love movies, that's how much she loves music. So whenever we started dating, she found out that I was a huge film buff, that I loved movies and loved everything about them. She asked me if I had ever seen a movie called Dazed and Confused, and surprisingly, I had never heard of it. She was extremely happy to let me know that she in fact owned the movie. So that weekend we ended up watching it, and not only was she happy to watch it, but she was extremely excited that she had the opportunity to introduce a film buff to a movie that he had never seen before. This movie blew my mind. I feel like anybody that watches this movie can relate to someone in this movie. The reason I brought up music is because this movie has one of the most amazing soundtracks ever. I feel like a person that, even if you don't like classic rock or any rock, you can still appreciate a really good soundtrack like this one. The movie is just filled with extremely awesome, relatable characters going through ordinary things that I believe every high school teenager goes through. The first time I watched this movie, it was like 2003, 2004. And this movie takes place in like the mid-70s. And even though there's that much of a difference in generations, I still feel like I can relate to some of these people. I feel like these teenagers understand me. Not only did I feel like I could relate to some of these people, but some of those people actually reminded me of some of my own friends. Me and my wife did hang out with the same group together. We did have a lot of the same friends. So every time I watched this movie, I always felt like I was seeing myself and my wife and our friends just having a really good time together, just hanging out at school and outside of school. Me and my wife would watch this movie all the time. Every time we had the opportunity to hang out, like most teenagers, we would just hang out on the couch and watch TV for hours and hours. And we always made a point to watch this movie because we both enjoyed it very much, and I will forever be thankful that she introduced me to this. I mean, even now when we both sit down and watch it, we'll put the kids to bed and we'll sit down and watch this movie, and we will talk about our high school years. I know it makes me sound older than I am, but that's the truth. I mean, we will sit down and just talk about how we met and all the things that we did growing up in high school with our friends. And even though this movie is based in the 1970s, just watching this movie brings back a lot of my own memories that I went through in high school. Not only with my wife, but some of my best friends. The last movie that I want to talk about is the original Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I do have 3 kids, but my eldest Rachel, who is now 7 years old, for the first year and a half of her life, she did not want to watch anything except for this. She has me for a dad, so you can already imagine that she had plenty of things to watch. She did have her own movie collection, and I had my own. If she was not crying and I would try to put something else on for her, then she would start crying. But the second she would see this movie come on TV, not a sound. The movie isn't that long, so there were times where I would just put the movie on replay till she finally fell asleep. It just became this ongoing joke about how much she really loved this movie as an infant, as a baby. Even when she started crawling and when she started walking, like I said, her first year and a half of life, she had an obsession over this movie. It got to the point to where people wouldn't believe me, so whenever somebody would come over, I would have to show them. I would be holding Rachel as like a 7-month-old baby in my arms, and I would try to put on like Toy Story or something like that, and she would immediately start crying, and then my wife would pull out the disc, she would put in Snow White, she would push play, and the very second she realized that Snow White was on, she would stop. Not only would she stop crying, but her eyes would be like glued to the TV. She might not be able to remember, but I will always have memories of sitting there on the couch, holding her in my arms and watching this movie with her. And even if she didn't know what was going on, just the fact that there was a movie that she loved and the fact that there was a movie that we can both sit down and watch together, I am extremely thankful for. I'm also thankful that that's actually something that we both still share and we both still do. But that's it, you guys. Just a few movies that I'm thankful for. Like I said, this isn't every single movie that I'm thankful for. There are tons of movies that I can think of, but these are just a few movies that immediately come to mind that I thought I would share with you guys. I really like this idea, so if you guys do plan on making your own videos, please let me know. Send me the link. I would be more than happy to watch those. I really like this idea because I believe that if we all made this list, each one would be different. And I would love to hear why everyone is thankful for specific films. But thank you guys very much for watching. I hope everyone has a awesome Thanksgiving. Please leave your comments down below. Like the video if you like, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you for watching Guerra Movie House. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Peace out, homies.